Welcome to Gurukul Lectures. In the ongoing series of Leadership and Team Development, today we will be talking on team building and effectiveness. Let me start with a quote given by Henry Ford. Togetherness is a beginning, togetherness is a progress, and togetherness is a success. With this note, let me start with the concept of what is a group. A group is a collection of the people who interact with one another, accept the rights and obligations as the members. For example, preparation group. Why do we form groups? Because we have certain needs. For the need satisfaction, we feel attracted to some people, and we have certain set goals we need to achieve. So because of these three reasons, mainly and primarily because of the need satisfaction, attraction and goals, we form the groups. What is a role in a group? There are basically three roles which we talk about: task-oriented roles, maintenance roles, and individual roles. These are the characteristics of a group: the composition, the status hierarchy, the roles, norms, leadership, and cohesiveness. These are the particular characteristics of a group. That group is composed of certain people. People are there in certain hierarchy status. Some people are upper in hierarchy, some people are lower in hierarchy. They have certain roles to play in the organization and modern contemporary organizations. There are certain group norms which we need to follow, and there is a leader of the group which is called as a leadership or a steering member. Then we have certain concepts called cohesiveness, that is the degree to which the people are attached to each other and they actually listen to each other as far as the decision making is concerned. Now there is a vital difference between the group and the teams. The group and the teams are not the same. The group means what? There are two or more individuals interacting with each other to accomplish a particular goal. Whereas team is all about the mature group with the member, interdependence and motivation to achieve a common goal. So team starts out as a group, but not all groups mature into the teams. Now let us compare the work teams and the work groups. So in the middle of the slide, we have the basis of differentiation. On the left hand side, we have the work teams, and on the right hand side, we have the work groups. So on the basis of goals, if you talk about the work teams, we have a collective performance. Whereas in the work groups, we have a shared information. In case of a synergy as a basis of difference, we have a positivity as far as the work team are concerned, and the synergy is all about neutrality if you talk about the work groups. In terms of accountability, we have the individual and the mutual accountability in the work teams, whereas it is specifically individual in the work group. As far as the skill factor is concerned, they are complementary, whereas in case of the work groups, they are random and varied. So these were the particular differences between the work and the team and the groups and the overall functioning of the teams. As far as the groups are concerned, they run the efficient meetings, whereas in the teams, we have to encourage an open-ended discussions and active problem-solving meetings. Now let us talk about the measure their effectiveness. In case of the teams, the measure performance directly by indirectly by their influence on assessing the collective work output, and the others, that is the financial performance of a business and the promotion, etc. So let us start with the concept of a team. A team is a group of people who do the collective work and are mutually committed to a common team purpose and challenging goals related to that purpose. And the collective work and the mutual commitment are the key characteristics of a team. They not only think and act collectively, but the social and the emotional bonds among them are really compelling. Now let us talk about what does the work team means. Work team is a formal group made up of independent individuals who are responsible for the attainment of a goal. The work teams are popular in the organizations. Now these are the particular reasons because of which the work teams are popular. It creates esprit de corps, that is, union is strength. It allows the member to do more strategic information. It increases the flexibility. It takes into account the advantage of a workforce diversity, because when you talk about a team, you have the people across India, across the globe. So because of this diversity, it makes the business sense, and it increases the performance because we have people from diverse backgrounds with diverse skills, etc. So overall, the teams are popular because it builds the team, it builds the work, it builds the environment, it builds the flexibility, performance, and union is strength. So owing to these reasons, we say that the work teams are very popular. Now let us talk about the types of teams. There is a purpose, structure, membership, and duration. Because of the various reasons, because of the various purpose, structure, duration, and membership, we have the different categorization of the various team members. So first is your purpose. We can have a team related to product development, problem solving, re-engineering, any other organizational purposes which are desired in the organization. If you talk about a structure as the basis, we have a supervised team as well as a self-managed team. And in case of a duration, we can have a permanent and a temporary team. And in case of membership, either we have a functional membership or we have a cross-functional membership. So let us take these one by one. Now, team based on ownership. So we have the functional teams and we have the cross-functional teams. So let us have a detail of all the two. Now, in case of the functional teams, it is composed of a manager or his or her employees from only one functional areas. Issues of authority, decision making and leadership are relatively simple and clear, and it attempts to solve the problems in a very specific functional area. And then we have a cross-functional teams. The members come from different functional areas, hybrid grouping of individuals who are experts in the various specialties. Now we have a team based on the structure. On the basis of the team based structure, we have two types of teams, the supervised team as well as a self-managed team. The supervised team is under the direction of a manager, whereas a self-managed team operate without a manager. They are responsible for a complete work progress or a segment and assumes the responsibility of managing itself. So have the authority to make and implement the decisions, finish the projects and address the problems and the organizational plans to expand their use in the future. Now let us talk about what the virtual team means. The physically dispersed members are linked by the computer technology, miss the normal give and take or face-to-face discussions, and they tend to be actually more task-oriented. So if the employees haven't yet learned to function as a team, your workplace may be lacking a very key component. So teams are so vital for the functioning of the organization. The employees that support one another and recognize the value of each other positions on the team are more motivated and productive. And of course, building a successful team is a process that takes time and cannot be completed in a single day or a week. And when your organization embraces the ideals of collaboration, they will become more cohesive, more cooperative, more effective, and despite the fact it will take a lot of effort. So how to turn a work group into an effective team? It is a big question mark. So we will deliberate on this particular issue. The first is convene with the group and explain how the working as a team will increase the motivation level, contentment and productivity for all the members. Inquire of the team members for suggestions on how to improve the group performance. Then the second is, explain how the work you conduct benefit the firm to the group. Explain what each person position is in that group. While this may appear to be a self-evident, and certain members of the group may be unaware of the scope of another team member's responsibility or the value of your job to the organization. Coming on to the third strategy, that is how to turn a work group into an effective team. The third and the foremost factor is, as a group, develop a number of objectives. The goals could include completing a critical project ahead of the schedule, improving the member communications, and increasing the revenue by a specific percentage. Establish the success measures and make them available to all the team members. The goals which you have set should be very specific, quantifiable, realistic, relevant, and time-bound, and according to the free management library website. Then is you have to determine how the group will achieve the objectives. And if you are worried about missing a deadline, look at your workflow and redesign it with your team's inputs. To boost the communication, schedule the weekly meetings with them. Use the workplace intranet to provide the project updates or organize a casual lunch and learn the lessons. The next is keep your team members up to date on the grounds and the group's progress towards its objectives. So you need to provide a regular feedback and request the team members to keep you updated on your issues and concerns and provide the answers to the challenging situations and act as go-between if there are disagreements between the departments or the personnels. The next most important point is to encourage the team members to collaborate in order to achieve their objectives. The team members with diverse strengths should be paired together so that they can benefit from each other's knowledge as well as experience. So we are discussing basically the factors which can actually turn around the team and increase the productivity. In this flow, let us talk about the seventh factor. Celebrate your team's accomplishments and explain how each member contributed to their achievement. Thank you to everyone on the team to show your appreciation, gratitude for their particular efforts. Take the group out for lunch or offer them some gift cards. Actually, this kind of an appreciation environment is actually going to change the scenario. People will be more motivated. They will be more involved, engaged, and thankful to be a part of that team. And if the team leader appreciates them by some gifts, by some, lunches and dinners and taking outs and outings, they will be elevated to next level. So celebrate your team's accomplishments. It will make a difference. Now let us talk about the team evolution curve. Now this is a very, very important curve and has a significant meaning. The team evolution curve is a facilitated discussion you can use with your team about where they are now and where they need to go and evolve. So if your goal is to become a high performing team, then this tool will actually going to help you and get there by helping the participants see what it is they need to improve. So let us see this particular curve. You need to start with the work group, then we have a pseudo team, then we have a potential team, the real team, and the high performing team. On the right hand side we have the time, and on the left hand side we have the performance. So let us see and explain this curve so that the team performance becomes better. The working group characteristics. There is no major incremental performance requirement or the opportunity that would necessitate the formation of a team. The working group characteristics. The members generally communicate to share the information, the best practices and the opinions, and as well as to make the decisions that will help each individual perform better within his or her area of responsibility. So there is no demand for a team approach or for a mutual accountability. This next is your pseudo team characteristics. This is a group from whom there may be a considerable increment performance, demand or a potential, but it has not prioritized or attempted to attain a collective performance. Even though it calls itself a team, it has a little interest in forming a shared purpose or set of a performance goals. And in terms of the performance impact, the pseudo teams are the poorest of all the groups. The potential of the individual pieces is smaller than the sum of the whole in the pseudo teams, and because their interactions detract from each member individual performance without generating any joint benefits. So they virtually invariably contribute less to the business performance and needs than the working groups. The pseudo team characteristics. To have the option of becoming a potential team, a pseudo team must set the goals so that it has something very, very specific to do as a group, and of course that is very beneficial to the team and to the firm. Now coming on to the potential team characteristics. There is a considerable increment performance requirement, and it is genuinely attempting to enhance its impact on the performance, and more clarity regarding the aim, goals or the work products, and is usually required, as well as more discipline in hammering out a consistent working method. It hasn't yet built a system of collective responsibility. The organizations are full of potential teams, and when a team approach is appropriate, the performance impact can be very significant. And between a potential team and a genuine team, the performance increase is the steepest, yet any progress up to the slope is actually worthwhile. Now let us move on to a real team characteristics. This is a small group of people with complementary skills who are equally devoted to a common purpose, set of goals and the method of working for which they are both held accountable. The real teams are the most fundamental unit of performance, and the real team potential performance impact is much more than the team group and the working group. Then we have our high performing team characteristics. This is a group that satisfies all the requirement for the actual team, and as well as having a member who are deeply invested in one another personal growth and success. This dedication frequently extends beyond the squad, and the high performing team exceeds all other similar teams as well as all reasonable expectations given its composition. Now, tool of team building is a group decision making analysis. The group decision making analysis is a team building activity that allows the team members to talk about and agree on how they can make the better judgments by utilizing the right decision making style for a particular situation. And unlike many of the other tools and the strategies, it concentrates on improving only the essential process, that is, how to make better judgments. For example, template for group decision making. Now we can see on the screen, this particular slides really tells us a very good thing about how we can take decisions. So on the right hand side is desirable, on the left hand side is not desirable. Like we have a lack of response and we have also a lack of response. So we can see the scale of 0 to 100%, and you can see on the right hand side the overall authority role is decreasing and the minority role is increasing. So how we should take decisions and how we take decisions are differentiated in this particular slide, and it actually clearly states that we should give more priority to the minority section, and of course we have to reduce the autocratic set of taking of the decision making, which is definitely not desirable at all. So there is a secret sauce for effective decision making. So let me give you a recipe of that. If you have a large group, you might want to form a smaller breakout groups of 4 for a discussion to see if they can achieve a mini consensus beyond and before bringing the whole group back together. So this particular concept means what? That means if you have a group of 20 people, try and break the people in a group of 4 or 5 and try to build a consensus. And if you have a mini consensus, of course, sky is the limit for you, and you will have a very, very effective decision making process. So this is a secret sauce which we must share it with everyone. Now let us discuss about what are the effective teams. A good working definition of a team is a smaller number of people with complementary skills who are committed to a common purpose, performance goals, and approach for which they hold themselves mutually accountable. And high performance teams add tremendous value to the organizations. Nurturing and developing them aid efficiency and maximize the effectiveness and the flexibility of individuals and the organization. So let us quickly discuss the characteristics of a successful team. The first and the foremost is a shared sense of mission, a thorough awareness of team goals, resources required to achieve such goals, and the mutual respect among the team members. So both for who they are as individuals and for what they contribute to the team success. Valuing and accepting the members, strengthen the weaknesses, the mutual trust is definitely essential, and the willingness to share one's expertise and the knowledge, and there is an openness to speak freely. So as we move on to the characteristics of an effective team, it is very clear from the features itself that the particular effective teams are free and they feel they are connected and they have a shared mission, shared goals, and of course they contribute to the team success in some way or the other without breaking or having a division between themselves. They value each and every member of the team, and of course the mutual trust is the most essential feature of an effective team. And of course they are willing to share one's expertise and the knowledge, and there is an openness to speak freely whatever they want to tell, whatever they want to share. And of course, to deal efficiently with all the team tasks, the individuals must have a diverse set of skills. So the effective team features are definitely any feature which every successful team aspires for.